This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
Ha! I got it. Yes,
On
it
the
is that
troll.
time. Forget about it. If you don't get it, forget about it. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about the case of Senzo Meyiwa. As usual, we don't know whether to call it a case of Senzo Meyiwa or the case of states versus defense with no name. Because it feels like we're dragging the name of the legend for far too long for nothing, basically. But today, Gininda was still on the stand, standing strong and still explaining in paragraphs and paragraphs. It's okay. Because I can tell you for now, I think we're done for now. Until Nis decides to call him back, if he's going to need to call him back to finish the cross-examination of after inspection in local. But we are all resting.
I don't think we're going to need to call him back. Akiriana wants to use aerial photos.
Of relief.
If he wants to use aerial photos, I don't think they're going to call him back.
They will, because Nisi was supposed to cross-examine with that regards. Because he ignored that part of aerial photos, which I explicitly told you that they were there to replace inspection in local.
You did, yes.
I'm tired of predicting this. Very soon I'm going to be feeling like I'm ready to become a Sangoma or something. They are making it very easy for anyone to be able to predict them. There's nothing special I can tell you. You just have to do nothing. You just have to listen to them and look at what they are doing. Yes, it is Friday today. The energy is high. The spirit is better. The body, yes, it is tired. We are feeling exhausted. Definitely exhausted. But I can tell you, Fridays are special. They are for special days, special energy. You give the best that you can to the best audience that you have. Right?
Yes.
Forget about everything that you have had in court for a moment.
It was a lot. It was painful to listen to.
Forget about what you had for a moment and live through this couple of minutes before we start telling you exactly what happened in that court. Just breathe in and breathe out and press that like button while you're doing it, because I can tell you, once the emotions are very high, to some of you, we have noticed it becomes harder and harder to press that like button. Do it now before everything starts. So it's Friday. Be energized and be ready with the calls. And before we go any further, I want to tell you, the cell phone number for WhatsApp has completely changed.
Okay.
Do not call the number that you either called yesterday or the other days. Now the cell phone number,
06 number,
it's gone.
Is gone.
Forget about it.
Okay.
It's gone.
It's been disconnected.
The number that you're going to use for WhatsApp and call
calling
is the common number. And I made it a point that it is scrolling below. It is the same number that you call for direct calls.
Okay.
Do not forget that.
Okay.
It's 071 153 7006.
Okay.
071 153 7006. If you didn't get it, ask around. And if you don't get it, check what is scrolling. I made sure that it is updated. The only thing not updated, we are still being hosted by Emily. That's the fact. There is nothing that can change out of that.
Maybe it will change
Evening
in the future.
to people, and already we have someone who likes this energy. Lindy Wepembe, thank you very much. God bless you. Emily, greetings to everyone on my behalf as Mr. Anonymous. Emily can tell you, I was DJing before we got in here. I was enjoying this vibe. I was like, let's go. Now, that's the spirit that I have.
You are very high.
I'm high.
Energy.
It sounds wrong. Yes, I am energized. I'm energized.
Not high in other things.
Don't explain. It's going to even sound worse.
And I, on the other hand, am the complete opposite.
You are flat. Don't worry. I'm gonna carry you.
It's the what I just listened to. It's here.
Why does it worry you?
It's not worrying me. It's overwhelming with. I've never heard such dilulu in my entire life, and it's stretching and it's stretching and it's stretching. Now accused number 4 was in the house. Now it's like this thing is gonna drag like this for God knows how long.
Yes, he was in the house on a basis of the regions.
Oh my God.
On the basis of the regions.
Well, none of the people in the house said there was a third person.
He was in the house on the basis of the regions. Because according to the confession that was allegedly coerced, he ran inside the house. And guess what? The best investigation coming from the best investigators could be that the regions are saying, some of them, they are saying, oh, there is number 3. Forget about the conclusions. Forget about the fact that one person was wearing the hat.
Forget about
being
excluded.
All of it. Forget about them being excluded. The main and the core fundamental evidence is that accused number 3 ran inside, according to accused number 2.
Accused number 4 ran in.
Accused number 4 ran inside.
Number 2 was running out.
As accused number 2 was running out. And for some weird reason, the only thing he was running to do was to drop a sweat or something in that head and not pick it up and leave it. And he went back. And then the regions happened. That's the story. That's the best way I think we can tell you what happened.
By touching. So by touching.
It could be by touching. It could be by the drop of sweat. Basically, I would think of the drop of sweat.
So he's speculating that there was sweat. He's even speculating that accused number 4 was sweating when he picked up a hat.
Yes. And then from there, that's how everything was transferred. And then he ran back out before everyone.
What a fallacy.
Before everyone could see him. Before Makumalo, which we do not know where her position was.
Yes.
Up to this point. Because Mapupolo Bese toilet, the sister apparently went inside the other bedroom.
Yes.
The other one with the phone and the limping leg went to the other bedroom with the kid.
Yes.
The other ones, by the way, correction to Mr. Gininda. He entered the neighbor's house through the gate, the small gate. The theory, he jumped the wall, which was more believable, by the way, was denied.
Yes. It was changed. Not even changed. It was denied.
As usual, it was changed because initially it was jumping the wall. It was changed. You are right. It was changed. I mean, because of a lot of affidavits.
Yeah.
But Gininda today, he said he jumped the wall.
My God.
You see, these things, they have a way of coming out. One way or another, I can tell you, they do come out. Just for fun of it. Because that is for fun of it. He jumped the wall, yes. When he was questioned about everyone else. And none of these people, none of them saw the people in the yard. None of these witnesses saw the people in the yard. None of them came across them. None of them. None of them.
None.
So there's only one person with the affidavits and everything thrown around. There's only one person whose position never changed according to the evidence. That is Makhomalo. But according to Gininda, everyone in the house took a position of hiding in a certain room, one way or another. But that was not said by Makhomalo. Rest assured. It was just thinking ahead for Makhomalo.
Yeah.
So you still have something on Makhomalo. If you want the senior one, basically, because the Kelly one, you're gonna hear a lot of theories. I thought he was hugging me. I thought he was. There's a lot of things that you don't call Kelly, in my opinion. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Call the senior one. If God permits, that's the one.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of things that happened in that house. A lot of things that happened that she could assist you with. That's my opinion. But other than that, Emily, greet us and tell us what we need to know.
Yes. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us here again for another one of our live deliberations of the Senzo Meyiwa trial.
Yes.
So this morning, court started with them waiting for the accused.
Yes.
Apparently, they were in the holding cells or something, or they were on their way. So the judge wanted to know how Brigadier Gininda did in his exams.
Yes.
Ramasipili also said that he was interested. Gininda said that he will whisper to them. So he told a story, judge, about how lecturers, when they were studying, used to say, look at the left side of your half and look at the other side, and half on your left are not going to be there when you graduate. There was a university that I went to that they did this, and I hated it so much, you guys. I hated it so much. I just found it to be some kind of dark psychology trick that just gets you to feel insecure and paranoid and anxious and whatever about your studies. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, not everyone is called to do the same thing in life. Some people change their minds after they discover that this course is not exactly what I want, or it doesn't align with how I want to live the rest of my life, and they change their minds. And some people also struggle, you know. So it's like, okay, so this is all the way. This thing has been practiced even pre-1994. It just happens to be something that they carried over. It's a pattern that they've been doing. So Ramasipili said that Afrikaans was also mandatory in the time that he studied law. Imagine, you guys. That was too much. So Baloy said that Dr. Sibandoso is a marker, and apparently is very strict with marking, according to Advocate Baloy. Yes. So Ramasipili resumed his cross-examination of Brigadier Gininda. So he resumed with the description relating to what was given to Warrant Officer Steenkamp.
Isaiah, thank you. God bless you. And Zozo Mahlang. God bless you guys.
Thank you,
guys. Thank you. It's been long, Isaiah. Indeed, it's been long. I'm sure you've been busy.
Yeah.
Considering the last talk.
Oh, yes.
Yes, thank you.
So, relating to what was given to Warrant Officer Steenkamp on suspect B by the witnesses who were in the house, Mtokozi Sitwala consulted with Warrant Officer Steenkamp much later. But those that consulted with Warrant Officer Steenkamp on the 29th of October 2014, they did not give the description of suspect B. Gininda in his answer said that that was correct. However, in their statements, they do mention some descriptions. That's where they ended yesterday. And Gininda said it was correct. So Ramasipili then said to him that in the description that they gave the description of the second suspect as the following: that he was much taller than the first intruder, wearing a hoodie, and he was dark in complexion. Gininda said yes, although he doesn't recall vividly, that was the description of the second suspect. And then Ramasipili told him that from their description descriptions in the initial statements of the 29th or even supplementary statements that they made thereafter? Did they provide specific features like the old-type beard, the soul patch, and golden teeth? Gininda said no, he can't remember like specifically, because these witnesses made various statements. The first stammer that they made is on the 27th of October 2014. Subsequent to that, there were then others who made supplementary affidavits. So for him to be precise, he'll have to go through all those statements to see exactly if they have not changed the initial description or not. And Ramasipili then asked him, my suggestion will be that the description given in their statement of taller than the first intruder, dark in complexion, and wearing a hoodie is a generic description that can apply to many individuals.
Yes.
Gininda said it's correct. It is a generic statement. However, you need to take the description into context of what is happening as the situation changes. Because in general, if you're talking about that description, for example, in the middle of the city, it is general, because the likelihood there'll be a number of people wearing a hoodie, particularly today since it's cold. But if you take that description to the crime scene, it is specific. Just like myself, I like hoodies.
Yeah.
I like hoodies. It would be unfortunate to find myself in the cells because I like hoodies.
One day you might.
I rebuke in the name of the one. So it would be unfortunate, really. But if you take that description, he said, Brigadier Gininda, to the crime scene, it is specific according to him. There's no other description or evidence that they've obtained that describes another person wearing a hoodie. So there's only one individual that is described as wearing a hoodie, including witnesses. None of them are described as wearing a hoodie. What was Makaleni wearing? I'm just curious. So it then becomes unique to him, he says, when you take it into that context. He said you take that description, you then marry it into the investigation, and subsequent to the evidence that was obtained against accused number 2, when the picture changes completely because it shows that the evidence points to suspect B, and suspect B in terms of the investigation points to accused number 2. Ramasipili said, I understand your explanation, Brigadier, but my question was simple, right? In their statements, I understand you want to marry it to the background, and, but in their statements, that is a generic statement that somebody is tall, dark, and had a hoodie. If police go on that day, say, go look for somebody tall, dark, and wearing a hoodie on the 26th,
Yes.
they could have picked up 10, 20 people.
Yes.
Gininda responded by saying that he disagreed.
There's always going to be context.
If you take into context, the description is given. Indeed, for the 26th of October 2014, and time is indicated, that it's very specific where this tall, dark individual with the hoodie went into. He went into the Kumalo house. Subsequently, there was a shooting and people then ran out. If police follow that lead, there's no way they will arrest the wrong person.
They did arrest Zamogwak.
They did. They did. Certainly, because there's no evidence in this docket that during commotion there was more than one person wearing a hoodie and others were innocent persons. There's only one individual that was suspect B that was wearing a hoodie. So there couldn't be that will arrest, or it couldn't be that they'll arrest wrong people. You'd rather not find people or arrest the right person. So Ramasipili said, I'm not going to have a tete-a-tete with you, meaning that he didn't want a back and forth with Brigadier Gininda. He said that this is a point that he'll argue at the end of the whole case. Should we arrive there to say this was a generic description, it could have matched 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people by saying that someone is tall and dark wearing a hoodie, but I'll leave it at that. Ramasipili then said, I'm still talking about the statement of the witnesses that were in the house. In their statements, did they mention a specific color of the hoodie? Baloyi stood up and said that they didn't mean to interfere, but what is the point of focusing on what the witnesses have said when they were in court and they have testified and they were cross-examined on the contents of their statements, but they have already testified. He said, we submit, my lord, that is unfair to us. This is a point that can be taken up by the learned friend, as is already pointed out in the argument.
It's funny how he wants these people to leave it when he couldn't, when he repeated some of the information on the record, even when they objected. It's funny.
It is. It is. He wants to dictate how they cross-examine.
He was pissed.
He wants to tell them how to conduct their cross-examination. You know what I like, though?
They
ignored him. I don't know how many of you noticed that. All these objections that he was raising, they ignored them because after Ramasepili was asking, is it relevant? Is it am I badgering the witness? Apparently there are things that you can object. You understand? So he was like, I want context of this objection. Well, Ramasepili counter-argued that he's not even sure on what basis the objection was being raised. He said that there are certain pillars of objection. Is he irrelevant? Is he repetitive? Is he badgering the witness? And he said that he doesn't know what the basis of this objection is. When he asked Brigadier Gininda whether the witnesses in the house provided or furnished Warrant Officer Steenkamp with a description of suspect B, he said on the main one, no, but in their statements they did give the description. Now this leads me to this. Baloyi then stood up and said, my learned friend asks what is the pillar of our objection. It's an unfair question. In a sense, that the witness have testified, they've given their version, they have been cross-examined. What is the point of asking Brigadier Gininda to comment on their statement? We submit that if my learned friend says he wants a pillar, we are saying it's an unfair question to the witness. The judge said, okay. Then Ramasepili faced Gininda or addressed Gininda, and he asked him that if you can answer, you can say, I cannot comment because I did not make those statements. You can answer for yourself. You've got a mouth. He said, can you comment on what I put to you? And Gininda said, no, my lord, I didn't make those statements. All I can comment about is the investigation, but to comment as to what the person said, as I've said, my lord, one would have to go through those statements, as there are more than one statement to recall what people have said. But I was not the author nor the commissioner of oaths when the statements were taken, so I can only comment on the investigation. If I have to be specific in terms of what is contained in those statements, one will have to refresh his memory by going through those statements. So he doesn't know what's in those statements of the people that are in the house, especially the ones that are from 2014. I don't think he paid much attention to detail when it comes to those statements.
No, couldn't. Guys, please press that like button. It's Friday. It's Friday. Please help us. Press the like button. And again, thank you to Oli Jr. for gifting one person membership. And I hope the person maintains it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Oli.
Thank you.
Yes, Makwande, Oli, Makwande.
Yes, it's Gaby. Gaby was gifted.
Okay. Gaby, congratulations, you've got yourself membership for the month. So Gininda said that he can, however, assist on the statement of Warrant Officer Steenkamp because they dealt with it, because it is still fresh in his memory. He said that he can agree that in that exhibit, the description of the hoodie is not given by the people who were inside the house in terms of the color, but it was given by Makaleni because they didn't describe suspect B. So that is the closest that he could describe, and the color is described as black. So according to who? Warrant Officer Steenkamp or the people in the house whose statements from 2014 you didn't want to testify on, or Makaleni? So Makaleni also said that the hoodie was black now.
Yeah.
And he saw the hoodie and saw the gold and
He wish. You know, this thing, he wish. You can't be a goalkeeper and the center back and the middle field and the strike. Somewhere, somehow, there's gonna be a breakdown.
yo.
There's gonna be a breakdown somewhere, somehow. That's me just saying. You know, these things do happen. I mean, we are talking about this journey. It's a long journey. Yeah. Wish. We are somewhere, somehow, somewhere, things are gonna not marry each other.
Ramasepele said that in the course of your investigation, did you interview any of the witnesses that were in the house who stated that now that the event happened a long time ago, they were unsure as to whether or not they can still identify the suspects that entered the house? Gininda said yes. His recollection is it would be Mr. Mtogozi Sitwala and Tumelo Madlala. So those are the only people that he is stating on record that he went and spoke to concerning the identity of the suspects. Then why bayegela Miss Popola? Miss Popola yena?
Because uge wapeta somewhere.
Then Ramasipele then said, with respect to Tumelo Madlala, do you recall you interviewed him and what he expressed to you about the certainty and uncertainty of identifying the suspects in future should he see them? And Gininda said, no, I would not recall exactly what he said, but what I do recall is he didn't say he can identify the person. He was not sure because of the time at some stage. At some stage, I'm just not sure whether it's him or it's Mr. Twala. They said it's a 50-50. So it wasn't a denial, but they can, there was no admission that 100% they can for sure say because of the admission and the time that they were in the middle, saying that they are not really sure because of the time that had lapsed. A lot is going on.
50-50. The other 50 was meant to keep them coming, and when they are in court, be able to point someone they've watched on television.
Yes. 50.
Allegedly, I'm joking.
50.
Allegedly.
Well, Ramasipele then said, hence, I'm going to say that they cannot. I said the uncertainty embraces both sides of the spectrum. I may not, I'm unsure, I don't want to waste time, he said to Brigadier Gininda. I've got a A216 a statement in front of me, and the statement that you took, it relates to these aspects of Tumelo Madlala. And Gininda said yes, he does recall that he took a statement from Tumelo Madlala, and Ramasipele wanted him to read it. He introduced it as an exhibit. So it was taken on the 5th of November 2020 at 1918 by Brigadier Gininda. So Ramasipele gave him the statement, and he said that he had to make copies for everyone, including Brigadier Gininda as well, because he was giving him the one that he had, and he said that it was highlighted. So Gininda read the statement into the record. The statement says, I, Tumelo Brian Madlala, state further that on Sunday, the 25th of October 2020, I received a call from Colonel Gininda during the course of the day. The colonel informed me that there are suspects which had been identified on the said case of Senzo Meyiwa. I was informed that the suspects in question are suspected to be involved in the death of Senzo Meyiwa. The colonel asked me if I would be able to identify them. I indicated to him that I am not sure. 50-50. That's it.
50-50.
This statement was done on the 5th of November 2020. The accused appeared at court. They appeared throughout from October, November. Their last appearance, I think, was in November. Right?
Yes.
And still, Tumelo is not asked to identify. Instead, he makes this 50-50 statement. Kwenzakalani? And they appeared on TV.
You see what I hate about papers? They never talk. Thank you, Kolan Jr. Thank you. God bless you. See what I hate about papers? Papers never talk. You write today, you read it as if it was written on 2014, that will be accepted. That's a problem with papers. Papers never talk.
You know what I'm seeing? In the States, interviews are recorded in video when you're being interviewed by the police. I've been watching crime content or true crime content from American content creators, and I can say that I envy that part, because when they tell stories, they're able to put in footage of some of the interviews and interrogations that are happening between suspects and some of the police. I even remember the one that is huge right now when it comes to the Diddy case. That man that they said is a South African who was caught making a shooting at Trump Towers or something like that back in 2018, 2017. And then they conducted an interview with him, and he was talking about how he used to provide services to Diddy and stuff. The footage is there. It's in full, right? It's there. It's a conversation between a police officer and a suspect. And uyahambuluka, you know. He's talking. He talked a lot of things about Diddy on that footage. And I'm like, in South Africa, when is this going to happen? Because we've come to a point where it's honestly needed. This thing of Balama statement, it's not on. It's not on. That's why these court cases are like this. That's why they're like this.
You see, now with the recording, it's going to take years and years, because you see, it eliminates some of the elements. So you can't have such thing coming in to disturb.
To disturb what? I can want the truth. We want justice now. What is the role of the court?
Yeah, when I find out, it goes. In fact, it's the same thing as asking for body cams.
Even body cams.
Yeah, you can't in South Africa. You know how things are. You know, if it happens that we have such, it will be a tender from some IT company that was started just a couple of days before the tender happened. And it will have problems of switching off and on, switching off and on. You can have something state. No.
Then it's a mistrial, automatically.
Then you have a lot of mistrials.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Let it be the mistrials, because there's no evidence. Why are you switching off the body cam?
No.
The body cam is supposed to speak for you.
Oh, understand. I mean, they will switch on and off because maybe they're coding or because the system is not competent enough.
Then give the tender to someone else who can do a proper job.
Do you think that is easy? I remember I used to stay in one area where water was on prepaid. You know, you can tell, man, they did a shoddy job of giving a certain person a tender. Those things, they were switching off every time. Now and then you want to put water is gone. You don't have water. That thing is off. It's at night. That's how competent we are sometimes when it comes to these things. Now, the issue of, I'm talking about villages. I come from villages where water is drilled down. And then there's an engine. I'm telling you, you will stay a month or 2 months without petrol or the diesel. And in that time, you'll be supplied water by the trucks. This is South Africa. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I'm like,
This is South Africa, Baba.
where
This
are we
South
going?
Africa. This South Africa. You know, when I maybe are from town, you don't see it. Now we see it. And we didn't understand.
what?
You'll queue for a Waterkande. In fact, it's called Waterkanda site.
That truck,
Hey,
yeah,
truck
man.
of what? For a month. And then people tell you, diesel is not available. It hasn't been delivered. That's how South Africans, that's how things are done here. So imagine something that you want to rely on, such as cameras. It's going to be a tender. Hey, that conveniently, if umuntu izovela icishe.
Hayi ke mayicishiwe mina ngithi Mistral ayikho lento.
And there will be law that will disallow that. Rest assured.
Ramasipili then said, at the time that statement was made and commissioned, all the 5 gentlemen that are accused of this offense were already in custody. And 2 days later, they appeared for the first time at the Boksburg Magistrates Court for their first appearance. And Gininda said, yes, that's correct, on the 27th of October. Ramasipili said there was no identity parade held in terms of the 5 gentlemen standing before court. And Gininda said, yes, it was not done. And the last time we went over this point, you stated that one of the reasons was that already they had been to a previous ID parade. And for that reason, you saw no necessity of holding another ID parade. And he asked if he was
That was what he said.
correctly.
You
Yes.
know?
Yeah, the last time he said
He
that.
explained it like that.
Yes.
Now it's changing. That's what I'm saying. You see, the papers have a way of accepting anything you write to them. What you say is true. If you say, I wrote to you in 2014, then it becomes that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So forget if you forget if you think you'll ever win that.
Gininda said now that his recollection that he's indicated is that it was a prosecutorial-led investigation. So you get guided as people are aligned in terms of the course of investigations. And he says he doesn't think when he referred to the first ID parade, it was in relation to Mrs. Kumalo Senior in terms of her and people that went to identify the wrong person. It was in that context. But in essence, the investigation was prosecutorially driven, and he indicated insofar as the interview that he had with 2 witnesses, Mr. Tumelo Madlala and Togosisi Twala, in terms of what they said in terms of the identification at the time. So now he's giving us information that to us it was something that was said not in that court, right? That Kelly's mom is actually the one who pointed at Zamoguhle Mbata at the ID parade. So Ramasipili then asked him, if I'm understanding you correctly, the specific circumstances that led you to not hold the ID parade, it was because it was a prosecutorially led investigation. The prosecutors that were conferring you told you not to hold an ID parade. Gininda said no. When you work with prosecution, and he said that's his experience, most of the time when they give guidance is for the purpose of them preparing the prosecution. So if they push you to go to a certain direction, it does not mean that the other party that they're blocking you from it. It's a strategy that they are adopting. They give guidance. He said we follow it. Hence, I said that our part, I was able to interview the 2 witnesses and the statements speak for themselves. But in the guidance, I can't speak to them and they say this is it. They didn't want us to do it. There's a reason as to how they execute their jobs insofar as I understand, but I can't speak on their behalf.
If defending was a thing, people defend for their life. You know, in this case, You are doomed if you say something against someone. You are doomed if you say something against you. You've got to keep on defending.
Yeah.
That's why each and every answer must be contextualized.
Yes, in context. Ramasepile then said, let me ask you this question differently. You, as the lead investigator, was the holding of an ID parade in respect of the 5 gentlemen that are accused before the court ever a consideration? Gininda said, not the 5 gentlemen, my lord, because you do an ID parade in relation to the crime scene, so you don't do it in isolation. If you have 5 accused and you have witnesses saying we saw the 5 accused, then your consideration will be responding to your preliminary investigation. What we have on the crime scene is that there were 2 suspects who were seen going into the house. So the consideration that would have went into my kind is that insofar as the 2 suspects that went into the house, not the 5 suspects, because it is clear from the description and the statements obtained that reference is made only to 2 and not 5. And then subsequent to that investigation clearly indicated what role each suspect and accused that is added on this matter played. And no such investigation suggests that all 5 were inside the house. So the consideration was insofar as the 2 suspects that were suspected that they may have went into the house. Hence, you see the statements of the 25th of October before their appearance, because one wanted to establish if such parade should be considered or not. And the response of saying they are not certain, then I thought it would be, or it would not take us anywhere, or it would take us nowhere, because it would have been different if the response said, yes, we are 100% sure, or most certainly that we will do it. Then such would have been conducted, because we still had 2 days before the first appearance. So now he's trying to say that the Mtogozi Sitwala and Tumelo Madlala didn't want to do the ID parade. While Mtogozi Sitwala, remember, he gave testimony that he did do an ID parade. And then he said that as he was doing the ID parade,
He said he didn't point anyone.
He didn't point anyone, but then Brigadier Gininda somehow pointed somebody. Do you guys remember that part of the evidence?
I remember that.
And then he came to court and said, I didn't point at anyone. Oh my God.
Hey, Afed, you are from far in this case. We need to do a refresher.
No, we have to. Now we need to go back.
We need to refresh your memory, because some of these things we think we are making them up.
Gininda said that he was saying that she played a role in identifying Mr. Mbata on that ID parade in 2014. This is Kelly's mom now. That was before his time. Gininda said it was before our time. That was what I was saying in that context. Ramasepile then said, before your time, did you know if Zandile Khumalo identified some body else as suspect B at that ID parade? And that's another piece of information that we also didn't know. So apparently, Zandi Khumalo, Miss Popola, after that whole pointing of Ntanzi in court, this piece of information that actually she had pointed at somebody else as suspect B in the ID parade back in 2014, while her mother pointed at Zamuguhle Mbata as suspect A.
Yeah, because Zanduzo Kikwela.
Gininda then said, no, I don't have a recollection. So he's saying that he doesn't know this part of evidence. Brigadier Gininda. He doesn't know it.
The whole investigator.
Otherwise, I would have had to double check, but I don't have a recollection. So Ramasepile then said, with certainty, Zandile Khumalo pointed at someone else at that ID parade. So Gininda said he was not there, and like I said, it was before my time. Didn't conduct or participate in that ID parade.
Wasn't he part of the team though? At some point.
There was a time that he accompanied one of the other investigators in the Senzo Meyiwa trial before he was appointed as the lead investigator. There was a time they went to Senzo's brother-in-law and took a statement from him. And he said he was accompanying, I forgot the name of the officer that he said his team he was accompanying. That's what I recall from evidence that was shared. So, I don't know if he has been in this case prior to him being appointed as the lead investigator. I don't know. That's the part that I know, which is a role that he served. Now he was saying it was before his time in 2014 when Zandi was pointing suspect B in the ID parade and her mom pointed suspect A that ended up eventually being released. So then Ramasepeli said it may not assist you, but it will assist Mr. Ntanzi a long way, because the same Zandi Kumalo came here sniffing tears and crying and pointing at Mr. Ntanzi, saying that it's suspect that she saw in the house.
I saw Ramsipir was irritated.
I feel his frustration.
These people frustrate the hell out of you.
I feel his frustration, that whole drama.
And then here we go now. Someone else says, no, I don't know if that happened.
Baloy stood and said that he really didn't want to interfere with Ramasepeli's cross-examination, but he was doing it either way. He said that firstly, Brigadier Gininda testified about additional evidence. Now he's being cross-examined about aspects. That's what you wanted. Those aerial photos, ain't nobody interested in those photos. They want inspection loco. They don't want those photos.
So there's no need for accused for witness number 2.
No.
The last 2 witnesses, one at least one, but not 2. The one who took aerial pictures wasn't
no need.
was in an aeroplane taking
But
pictures.
When is he going to come and testify?
Did you fly this kite?
We don't care about the aerial photos. We want to know what happened in October 2014. That's the matter of importance. These are unnecessary things that they keep adding. It's frustrating. Then secondly, he said being cross-examined about the holding of an ID parade regarding the identification of Mr. Mbata. That ID parade had been handed up as an exhibit. The witnesses have testified on it. I'm like, who? Who testified on the ID parade of Samukuli Mbata? Who? Who testified on that ID parade? Who? Please tell us, because who? I tried to think. I've been like...
It has been a hush thing. When it was mentioned, it's been a hush. Leave it.
But I continue to say that to put it to Brigadier Gininda that Zandi Kumalo came here and shed tears when she has already testified and confronted her own identification. He said, I repeat, my lord, that these are aspects that can be argued and should not be put to Brigadier Gininda. Haibo. He's the lead investigator of this case. Haibo. What did he investigate? If he can't be questioned about his investigation, then what investigation did he do? That you are shielding him. You don't want him to answer questions pertaining his investigation. Hey. Then he went on to say that it's unfair. Again, these are the aspects he did not testify to.
He's an investigator. You said everything must pass by him. When you were repeating those pictures, these people, hypocrites.
Yeah. Ramasepeli said
you
to
said
Gininda,
the reason why he had to put those pictures that were put on record against because he's investigating
yes.
of that case.
But it seems
Lead
like
investigator.
it's an investigating officer who cannot be questioned on the contents of the docket. Magza good contents of the docket agafuni bem question. Kota he wants him to question on evidence that keeps coming up that is new, photos and stuff.
Piecemeal.
Yes, but when it comes to contents of the docket, bangathi it's a no-go area. Kanjani. He must have studied that docket for him to come to the conclusion that he came that they were intruders. We're trying to understand that part. And the defense is supposed to understand how he came to that conclusion for the sake of their clients. Ramasepele said to Gininda, to be fair to you, and partially so because you are privy to the entire contents of that docket, you are the commander of that ship, but I'll be fair to you. But that Zandile came here crying and all sorts of acting here, it did happen, and I'm not apologetic about that. That marked the end of his cross-examination.
He was angry because of the objections that were unnecessary. Also, I think difficult to piss Ramasipiri off, but he was pissed.
Those things were not even objections. They were just hints of what Gininda needed to answer. Every time after he objected, he said,
my Lord.
I wasn't there. I wasn't a part of the... And he knows Brigadier Gininda will go and give an opinion, expect opinion on... Next thing you know, they have to go now and look for people. So he was tending to give him clues that he was not a part of that. He was not there during the... And then he would be like,
you were not there. You were not a part of that.
I was not there during the investigation. See, I've studied these tricks. I know all of them. So Ngumalo then started with his cross-examination, which I found to be very interesting as well. He started off by asking Brigadier Gininda, my question relates to the subpoena that you referred to yesterday. You said that your subpoena was in respect to the request of the video clip. There's a video clip that they played yesterday that was beamed in court, the 38-second video clip. And Gininda said that's correct. And Ngumalo told him, you told this court that that subpoena was in terms of provisions of Section 205 of the Criminal Procedure Act. And Gininda said, yes, but I also indicated that I did not prepare that subpoena. He said that I am aware of it because it was under cross-examination that such was prepared. It was forwarded to ENCA, and I know the details were in relation to the date of the 27th of October 2014, but I was not the author or the applicant in that, but it was authorized. So Ngumalo then asked him, where is that subpoena? Have you had sight of it? Gininda said no, he was informed. He said he was informed, but he may have had sight of it electronically. It is Colonel Roots, who is not or was not currently in court at the time he was testifying, but it's something that he said was available and it was saved. The video came as a result of that support, so he had sight of it electronically, but it cannot be made available. He didn't have it because he didn't deal with that application. Then Ngumalo said to him that I'm raising this question because it was not provided to the defense. I also don't have it. Gininda said I did not have sight of that. Baloy stood and said that he doesn't know what is the basis on which they are entitled to a witness's subpoena. But as Brigadier Gininda mentioned, if they want, they can make it available to them. The judge was kind of laughing here, and I couldn't figure out why. Because I'm like, a subpoena is a subpoena. Everybody's supposed to see that subpoena. There's been too many Section 205s in that court that are shared. There has never been an issue. Why is this one an issue?
Maybe it was not there. That's the feeling. That's the feeling.
Because it never actually came. It didn't come.
But a subpoena comes from SAPS, right? Mm-hmm. Does it come from direct or it comes from the same the advocates?
I think it comes from the prosecutors.
So
I think it's them who draft it.
They must scrutinize the person that is gonna come to testify about it. Let's not say more. I don't want to say more.
Yeah, you end up giving them ideas, and the next thing we have 6 more months of dragging useless evidence. I'm tired. I want this case to finish. Numalo said that they're entitled to that subpoena. It's just in terms of Section 205 of the Criminal Procedure Act, as when one applies for the cell phone records. So when it comes to a video clip, it's a different story. Then he said that he'll continue with other questions with the understanding that that subpoena will be made available before he can complete his cross-examination. The judge said that he can make it available. And Nxumalo said, just to set the record straight in respect of my client, Mr. Mapisa, the contents of the video clip or the assertion that were made by my late colleague, Mr. Mgomezulu, on the 28th of October 2024, 28th of August 2024, are not relevant in the sense that we have perused this aspect, that he was not at the scene at Kutlanong Street. And Gininda said, no, he disagrees. That's not what the evidence shows. If you look at the confessions made by accused number 2, he implicated accused number 4. If you look at the statements compiled by Constable Zungu, accused number 4 is implicated. This is hearsay evidence, triple hearsay evidence from Constable Zungu. And he is willing, he's risking it all, on this hearsay evidence. And he said, I know it's a point of contention. If you look at the DNA analysis, he called it a DNA analysis.
I was done.
He called it a DA analysis, my apologies, a DA analysis. And then he corrected it later on, DNA analysis. And then he said, even though the conclusion of the DNA excludes
Democratic
him,
Alliance,
but the analysis reads him, there are regions of accused number 4 being read into the DNA that was found inside the house, and that find a corroboration in the confession of accused number 2, who said he went in with accused number 3 after the first shot was fired. When he ran out, accused number 4 went inside the house.
So, let us be honest. Is accused number 4 supposed to be there or not, according to law?
He's not supposed to be there.
No, right?
There's nothing putting him there.
Okay.
There's nothing putting
I
him
just asked that question because
except for the region analysis.
No, the region, what except? There's no except. There's no region. There's no region.
He just made up a whole thing and now he's sticking by it.
Even the judge, he was facing down the whole time. He was, when you are facing down, the face of shame.
This is his fault. He's the reason why.
The face of shame.
He's the reason why now we are here. When Brigadier Gininda refuses to accept the report. Yo guys, yo, idea court. Diabuya. So he said,
people would just keep on saying regions. Buffett. Sesifundile manje. La bantu bacabanga ukuthi sisuka ngizoze ngisho ezinye indawo.
Yeah.
Sifundile manje. We are learned.
Information.
You cannot lie to us. You cannot lie to us, man.
We will find it out.
You can't lie to us.
It's at the tip of our fingers.
Create something concrete, something believable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. If you were to create something.
Yeah.
This thing of DNA, it is done and dusted. Even Nxumalo didn't want to entertain it. I don't know how many times he fed it to Nxumalo. Nxumalo didn't want, until later he was like, I have one question. If you're a district manager for people who were in the house, it is true DNA in that head. Did you read of Makumalo? Did you read of Kelly? Did you read all those people who claim to be witnesses who were in the house? Did you read it from them? Did you read?
Did you get the head tested any for their
regions?
DNA?
You know,
did you get any regions?
The idea that someone would run inside the house to implicate himself before he runs out, it's a cartoon stories. Nakhona futhi ingane zamanje they are smart. It's a cartoon story. Someone who literally walk inside the house and does absolutely nothing because you don't know even the role that he played. And he comes out, then after that there's a DNA that is red on the head. So you went inside, in a sense, to implicate yourself and pick the head and drop it again.
And let's be clear.
To such an extent that even someone who was popoling there by the toilet did not see you.
Even there was a elbow situation that was being talked about where Zandi was saying as she was popoling, her mother was struck in the elbow by the gunman, and then they took Kelly's phone or something like that. Did he at any point mention seeing a person touching a head?
Hey, Buffett. Yeah, one of that thing of DNA, it makes someone look so. I'm not gonna say it. When you try to explain it, the more you explain it, the more
you're sounding like
otherwise
you're going downhill. Like
Dilulu
is the Solulu.
Leave it. It's not worth it. You know, imagine someone reviewing this case. A sober judge reviewing this case, sitting down, hearing you saying such things.
I was so embarrassed on his behalf. I was like, there's no way uphikisana nento ebhaliwe. There's no way you are arguing with a conclusion that says that all of the accused are excluded. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but
because it was nice and good to actually put pressure. Now it's no longer pressuring.
Gininda said, and further, the collaboration is further confirmed in fairness to the other accused. That accused one, even in his own confession, says he was standing outside, and indeed, you don't find his DNA inside the house, and that is now independent. It is said in terms of his confession and the investigation that accused number 5 was the driver, and indeed, there is no sign of him. The investigation points to accused number 3, or it points to 3 people who may have been inside the house. And that is what the Regents is saying on the DNA, as much as the conclusion is excluding them. But the Regents of all 3, which is accused number 2, 3, and 4, is found at the crime scene. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, because you are admitting that the conclusion is saying that they have been excluded. But when you are including them, uphikisana ne report, you are arguing with the report. You don't want to accept the results. Then Ngumalo said, Brigadier Gininda, I don't want us to go back to the evidence that implicates my client, because we have dealt with this issue under cross-examination. But there's one thing that is worrying me. Are you saying that according to your investigation, my client was outside when the incident was taking place inside the house? Is that what you're saying? Gininda said, I'm saying if you look at the accused, the
Context.
2 confessions.
Context.
That is where you find names of accused 2, 3, and 4. When the shots were fired, accused 2 ran out. Accused 4 was running into the house. That is contained in that confession. And I was putting that in relation to the DNA that was found. So if you take into account the DNA regions, you will see it corroborates. You know what's strange? He knows the details of the confessions more than he knows about the statements of the people that were in the house that were made from 2014. The actual witnesses, the ones who were there, the ones who were present.
No, it's because he didn't write it. It's because he didn't write it. No. So he was studying it. I mean, it was a very crucial evidence.
No, he knows those confessions word
by
word.
heart. He studied them very good.
Every detail, every corner, every angle.
He studied them very good.
He doesn't even need it in front of him while he's testifying in court. That's how much he remembers
That's a
the
level
details of the confessions.
Yeah.
Then Ngumalo then said the evidence places might lie outside the house according to your investigations. Gininda said no, both inside and out, as per the confession. It states when accused 2 was running out, accused 4 was running inside the house. I felt like Gininda is making advocate Ngumalo work today.
Work on what, in fact? What was it that Ngumalo was working on?
Oh, like it's like a slow train wreck.
It's a joke. It's a joke that we really have police who are seasoned who cannot read DNA.
Ngumalo then said, is there any witnesses that says there was more than 2 people or a third person inside the house? And Gininda said no. Sometimes saying no may give the wrong impression to the court if you don't put context. But this has reasons, because after the first shot went off, people ran out. How could they have seen what was happening after the first shot? The reason they could not see the third suspect is because they ran away after the first shot. Gininda said that in the interest of justice and fairness, he cannot now also ignore evidence, knowing that the DNA analysis, even though it's not conclusive, some of his DNA regions were red. Okay, which places part of his DNA inside the house. How could I stand here and believe that he was never in the house, taking into account the exhibit that I know, taking into account forensic and objective scientific evidence that places part of his DNA inside the house? Gininda said your understanding is that accused 4 was inside the house from the confession of accused 2. Gininda said the presence of his name comes from the confession and other evidence. I did mention Constable Zungu, but prior to that, Gwabeni's statement also mentions accused number 4.
Constable Zungu, Gwabeni, their statements are only saying, if we take them as they are and say, okay, that's what we take. These people were in Foslorus. That's what they said.
Yeah.
They never put anyone in the house in that side, in that theater of Spaza shop. They never put anyone in there.
No. This is another thing that needed to be added.
That answer and question
Constable
relates
Zungu.
to Constable Zungu.
And
It's
Gwabeni's
beyond my
statements.
imagination.
They do not put these people at the Spaza house in Fosleras, Kutladon Street. They are talking about what was happening at the so-called hostel. So, I don't know where this theory is coming from now. Well, Ngumalo then said none of the witnesses mentioned this. There's no evidence that a third suspect entered the house. It's only coming from you, your investigation. Then Gininda said, no, I indicated that it comes from the confessions of accused 2, and it is not part of the court record. It is contained there that accused 4 was running in while he was running out. Ashidi. Ngumalo then said, did you follow up with support what Ntanzi is saying from the people who were inside the house? Gininda said, no. When I speak about corroboration, the witnesses indicate that when the first shot went off, they ran out. So how will they know? People were running into different directions, but you find it in the forensic evidence. The DNA regions pick up some of them. It's scientific evidence. Ngumalo then said, what role did accused number 4 play after he entered the house according to your investigations? And Gininda said, all we know is he went into the house and no one was able to indicate what happened. We don't have evidence about what happened after he went in. Ngumalo then said, so you don't know? Gininda said, we know. He went inside the house, acting in common purpose with accused number 3. Guys, I'm sorry, this thing is funny if you really think about it. Ngumalo then said, so you don't know the role he played? And Baloyi objected, saying that these are matters for argument. Why should this witness be asked about whether the evidence is there against accused 4? The evidence is on record. These matters can be argued. This is an unfair question to Brigadier Gininda. Hey, unfair question yet again. Then Ngumalo repeated the question, and Gininda said, I indicated there was common purpose. They were at the hostel. When accused 2 and 3 went inside the house, he was outside. That is the role. We know that when accused 2 ran out, he ran in. What we do not know is what he did when he was with accused 3 inside the house. And there's evidence that 3 people were seen running towards the park. So Ngumalo asked him now that in terms of your investigation, how many suspects were wearing the hat, which is the subject matter in this case? Gininda said 1. Then Ngumalo said, that is where my trouble is, you know? How do you read DNA from my client in respect of that hat that was worn by 1 suspect? I could hear Gininda taking a deep breath at this point. He said that he's not a scientist, but his understanding and experience has taught him that you don't have to wear something in order to transfer your DNA. It could be holding this bottle of water that the time I put it down, my fingerprint and DNA in terms of sweat is there. He said, I don't want to speculate. But he continues to speculate and said it would be incorrect to say that you actually have to put on the hat to transfer the DNA. It can be transferred in various ways. You can bleed. A droplet of blood can go in, but that's not my area of expertise. But to suggest that you have to wear a hat in order for your DNA to be transferred, that is not my understanding. You can transfer it in many ways. You can try to pick it up, and as a result, the DNA remains there. Although so, I'm not a scientist, but I know that. You know, ngathi kune confusion of fingerprint with actual DNA sample, like DNA evidence. There's kind of comparison as if they are tested the same way. For someone who's being a private, or not even a private, but an investigator for so long, I'm baffled. You can't confuse fingerprint with DNA sample. What have you been doing all these years? I'm just curious. And then as a result, the DNA remains there, although he said that he's not a scientist, but he knows that. And I found this to be very hilarious. Even Ngumalo was laughing in disbelief, in my opinion. You know, and I'm like, oh, Judge Ratamkhwatling, look at the mess you have created. Oh my God. Oh my God. Even he looked like he wanted to hide. Like I saw him put his face. I'm like, look at what is happening. Oh my God. Ngumalo then said in terms of people placing him directly in the house, you don't have direct evidence of a witness who saw him standing outside the house. Gininda said, I indicated the people inside the house referred to only 2 people in the house. Other people saw more than 2 people running out. The only description you could find is of suspect A and B inside the house. Ngumalo then said, in as far as accused 5, he has instructed me, right, in front of his counsel, Advocate Mshololo, that the contents of the video clips in this court are not relevant to him, as he was not present at the crime scene. Gininda then said the evidence places him in the car. He was the one driving the getaway car. But he agrees with him that insofar as the version that was put by Advocate Ngomezulu, Mr. Longwetwala, because he doesn't recall Advocate Mshololo saying that that version of Longwetwala having shot himself in the foot. The interpreter at this point asked for a 5-minute comfort break, but then the judge asked for the time, and then he said he was giving them 30 minutes. So after that comfort break, Nxumalo continued with his cross-examination. So he said that in continuation of his cross-examination in respect to Mr. Ntuli, who's accused number 5, he said that it is not correct that the witness Sizwe Zungu is related to him. They are from different clans. They have no relationship whatsoever. And he started to know him for the first time here in court. And Gininda asked Fiso Zungu, and then Nxumalo said yes. But I don't think he had him correctly there. Sfiso Zungu. Yes. And then Gininda said it's not what he knows and he cannot take it further than that. He still insisted that accused 1-5 and Constable Zungu plus Gwabeni, there's a relationship and they are related too. But number 5 is telling you that he's not related to them, but you are insisting that they are related. Okay. Nxumalo asked to approach Mr. Ntuli at this point, and when he came back, he said he admits, or accused number 5, that his mother is indeed Batetelele Zungu, but that did not come from your investigation, Brigadier Gininda. It came at a point where his counsel, Advocate Mshololo, was cross-examining Lieutenant Colonel Hose. Gininda said he was not there during that cross-examination of Colonel Hose. And then Nxumalo said he further instructs me that the reason you say he is related to Sizwe Zungu is because you want to pull him or draw him closer to the relationship that you say he had with Constable Zungu, Sizwe Zungu. Yes. And Gininda said, no, that's not true. I'm simply testifying on what I know and what we've uncovered during the course of the investigation. I've got no reason for that. And then Nxumalo asked him, he further instructs me, accused number 5, that he finds prudence from his reason that Constable Zungu did not know him because Constable Zungu referred to him as a person from Opisweni, which is not correct. In fact, he is from Osuthu, from Kwanongoma. Gininda said he can't speak on behalf of Constable Zungu. Then Nxumalo said he further instructs me that Opisweni is not under Kwanongoma but Emahlabathini. So these are 2 different areas. And Gininda said that he can't speak on behalf of Mr. Zungu. Then Nxumalo wrapped up his cross-examination. So the state had no re-examination. They said that Mr. Bailey from ENCA and the photographer of the aerial photographs that were taken of the area that accused number 1 was saying that he was assaulted at. Mr. Monakedi as well is the aerial photographer. These are the 2 state witnesses that are left, and Baloyi asked that they start with recess today. So feedback on the AVL that is left is that Mnisi requested Baloyi, and he said that an affidavit with the outcome of those efforts was handed up as Exhibit XXX. Regarding the inspection in loco that Mnisi wanted, Baloyi said that it will be a logistical nightmare and the nearby hostel would need to be evacuated and they can rely on aerial photos. Mnisi said it's a shame. The state is coming up with that. That was a court order. South Africa is not a Mickey Mouse state. Baloyi wanted to say something, but then Mnisi said, I'm still talking. I'm still talking. There is no reason why there should be an evacuation of an entire hostel. Brigadier Gininda said himself that the hostel is not in the same vicinity of the police station. I'm not inclined to believe what Mr. Baloyi is saying unless there is an affidavit presented to court that says that for the holding of the inspection in loco, the whole hostel must be evacuated. Why should then the whole hostel be evacuated and not all the other areas that are adjacent to the hostel? Let's not insult the administration of this country. It's a shame to hear this from the state. It indicates the inspection in loco will not be a success because there are no resources. And I don't want to insult this government that I love so much. And then he sat down. So the judge asked Gininda how it should be organized. And Gininda said that between the hostel and the police station, there's a street. A threat assessment must be done to protect everyone. You have complete control of the area. If something goes wrong, someone will have to account, and it will come at a huge cost and huge convenience to the surrounding people, but it can be done. The judge said the state and the defense must meet with the investigating officer and plan how it should happen. So Baloyi said, we reject amnesty sentiments with the contempt it deserves. I cannot believe a court official can sink to that level.
But honestly, he is the one who's sinking at that level. What is he saying actually? He's saying that he's afraid of going to a hostel.
Yes, he was refusing a court order. He was like simply just not respecting a court order, and he wants to be a victim. He likes being a victim.
Suka.
I was strong.
Suka.
Was strong.
No, people can be difficult.
So the trial was postponed to the 21st of July. It's their recess. They are going to rest and enjoy time, not coming to court. The courts are closed, I think. And then the judge told Baloyi that it's possible to do an inspection local, because he saw that Baloyi was being difficult. I was telling him, no, it's possible. I've done it before. 13 years ago, he was talking about the JP case. He said that he was presiding over the JP case where there were 13 people that were accused. And then he mentioned something about them doing the inspection local because the accused had said that there was a sangoma that gave them a cleansing after they committed the crime. So that's why they did the inspection in loco, according to him. I don't know if I took it out of context. I'm just recalling it from my head. I was like, this is a lot now. It's chai, it's bye. Sizobonana 21. Are you going to maybe call an inspection in loco? It's not rocket science, okay? And if they were able to arrest accused number 1 in that manner that they did, they can make arrangements for inspection in loco. It's not that difficult. It's not. Just make the inspection in loco and stop being so difficult. Those pictures don't make sense. People didn't go and study. What do they call that degree? Barricking. There's a degree that deals with these aerial things. I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of that degree. I remember I had a person I knew who studied it. It's like geology and geography, but it's under BAC. They work mostly with maps. I forgot what it is.
The weather forecast guys?
It falls under the same faculty with the weather meteorologist. It falls under the same department, but it's not quite a meteorologist. But they do the same modules, yes. I just forgot the name of it. So they are showing them maps of a police station. He was busy there pointing, and no one was interested. No one was interested. I want to see them physically, what accused number 1 is saying. He wants to be there to be reminded that yes, ngashawala. What's so difficult about that? And then you can dispute if you feel. Then you can dispute and say no, it never happened or whatever. But do the inspection in loco. Finish. Don't understand why it's so difficult.
This is the time where the lines are open.
All right.
I have a sick baby, but I'm taking calls. It's fine.
Okay.
If you want to be reminded a number, we can remind you. But it is simple. Very simple. There's no context to it. You just have to dial it on WhatsApp. 071
Yes.
153 7006. 071 153 7006. You dial that number, you should go through. Not unless, I don't know, but you should be able to go through. Because I'm trying to figure out. I tested everything. What I didn't test is calling direct.
Okay, you can test it now with me. But you did test it earlier on.
On WhatsApp.
Oh.
I did test the WhatsApp.
Test the direct line as well to see if people are going to be able to go through.
You know, things happen when you are setting things up. Just to make sure that you guys can go through.
Yeah, we are double checking now, guys, if it works.
But you can call to double check yourself.
Yeah, dial the number. It's 007.
It's a mailbox, Emil.
Okay.
It's a mailbox. The number direct is a mailbox.
So only WhatsApp is working.
I think so, yes. But I'll work on it.
Okay.
Only WhatsApp is working.
So the call I received earlier was a WhatsApp call. Oh yeah, WhatsApp audio.
It was a WhatsApp call.
All right. Okay, guys, we only have WhatsApp line for today. That other number no longer has a device.
I don't know.
So we'll need to fix this other number so that it can call directly as well. But for now, we'll use the WhatsApp line.
Yes, we'll use the WhatsApp line for now.
Yes. So if you want to call in, you can call in if you are still eager. If not, then I don't know. Maybe we'll try again tomorrow. I don't know.
Someone is calling the wrong number.
Okay.
That's the wrong one. Whoever is calling on the old number, it's the wrong one. I can see it.
It doesn't have a speaker, so
Yeah,
we'll
it
be
doesn't
able
have a
to
speaker,
hear
so
what you're saying.
use the 071.
Please use the 0711. Please, 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 please. So the way it's dialing, the device doesn't have a speaker. I won't be able to hear you.
Yeah, I won't be able to hear you. We are challenging Scott. Please, guys, call and press the like button at the same time, if you can.
Don't we have any voice notes on WhatsApp that have been sent?
Not yet. Oh, yes. Yeah, I think we have a call. Mzansi, hello.
Can you put up an image on the screen?
Mzansi, hello.
I'll be back. Guys, I need a break.
Yes, sir. How are you? So, man, about that. We just changed the number, so we are, yeah. It's a confusing time, even for me. And considering that I also have yes. Yes. You blame?
You blame me.
I think I heard that. Yeah, so yeah, you can shoot.
Yes, good evening, Emily. Hope
Good
you're doing well as well.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm just exhausted from all of that stalking that I heard and I was listening to.
No,
It's a lot.
people. I thought yesterday was worse. But even today, even though I was so short, people, I don't know. I think my mind is really tired of cooking. It's completely tired. And if you try to give it a chance to listen to what he's saying, goodness, what a mess. Like he's just talking, okay, I'll go for a better word. He's just talking nonsense, man. Like, yeah. And I wonder, why is Tajrata really allowing, or why is the state really allowing their witness, Gininda, just to carry on like this? You see, I wouldn't mind if what he was saying was making sense.
Yes.
Then it's fine.
Yes.
I mean, he needs to talk and elaborate, and because it's making sense.
Yes.
But the things he's saying are not making sense at all. Okay, let me just start here. From yesterday, I couldn't get through yesterday. I was a bit too busy on the line.
Yes.
Yesterday, he made reference to a statement of Okelu Kumalo, who allegedly is the mastermind. That statement of Okelu Kumalo was used as a way to identify who the suspects were in the house.
Yes.
I mean, how on earth can you use a statement of someone you call a mastermind, which you haven't called to come and stand before here, which you haven't even issued an arrest warrant for them, but you are able to rely on their statement? Like, what nonsense is that?
Hey.
You're able to use that to convict or to identify the suspects that we have today. Like, what nonsense is that? And no one said anything. Like, no one said anything. Not even the judge. He asked clarity questions about that.
No, it's not.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
It's not
and if it makes no sense at all, then if that follows, since they've allowed him to use Kelly Kumalo, the mastermind, allegedly, to identify suspects, I think 1, 2, or mostly 1 and 2. Then, which means then they can always go back to confessions. Yaga accused number 1, who initially said that they were part of his confessions, which were what did he use? They were not, as if like they were actually sending them the wrong direction, so they couldn't rely on some parts of the confession.
Misleading.
Accused number 1.
They said they were misleading.
Yes.
Just to disturb you. Just to disturb you. Guys, the direct number 071 is fixed now. You can call through that number also. Same as WhatsApp. The number for call is same as WhatsApp. You can continue, sir.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Yes. Because I tried the normal line at that time. It went straight to voicemail a couple of times. So now it's working. Thanks for that. So yeah, then which means I can always go back to that confession and again speak through and look for information, even though they can't rely much on his confession, but still put it in there as long as it just places or it corroborates the identities of like, it was a mess. What was a serious mess.
Everything is a mess. I mean, in that case, there is really nothing that is worth listening to, but we are listening because we want to hear and we want to see the end at the end of the day.
Yeah, which I think right now that it's really on your fast forward mode. They are really tired of listening to the nonsense. Yeah, Gininda. I mean, a very simple question was asked today. What was the role of accused number 4 in this matter?
Hey, they were found.
Initially, he did not have any question, and rightfully so. So you don't know. He asked. So you don't know. Ngumalo asked.
He didn't know.
He don't know.
He didn't know.
No. All I know is that he was there. He was there of a confession of apparently Uzungu. Sorry, not a confession of accused number either 1 or 2, which places that he was outside. And Dugu Zungu never mentioned specifically that these people were in the house or were just that they were in for slaughters. So I am picturing, suppose they throw you into onto an ocean,
Yes.
you can't swim.
Yes.
You are just looking for things that can just help you breathe and stay afloat. Whether you want to breathe through a shark, you want to breathe through some straws that you see on the side or whatever. He's just trying to hold on to anything he feels like he can use.
Yes.
Just to make a point, which makes no sense at all. And my biggest worry is that the court is allowing him to do this nonsense that he's doing. I know, guys, man. I really can't wait for them to finish. It seems like they'll be finishing, but there's still two more witnesses where they are forcing. They have forced inspection in local for a defense with those photographs. And you know what? I think we need for actually like go for a better way insulting, even though it wasn't insulting, but for stooping that low.
Yes.
But just that nonsense which they but Minzi never said we will do inspection in local via photographs. He never said that. In fact, it was from the very same Babaloi who said that, you know what, these photographs won't be the only way of us doing inspection in local.
Yes.
Hence, when they just allowed him to go and read through the pictures and what. They didn't even object, didn't even say anything. Just because in their mind, they knew, no, we will do our own inspection in local, which will satisfy their clients.
Yes.
Then when it's time for me to ask for those questions, so no, it's going to be extremely difficult. I don't know. We're not saying that we can't do it, but it's going to be difficult. And if you want to allow it, why mention those nonsensical so-called factors? Residents to a hostel, and at this mention 9 way. Anyway, all I'm saying is well done for that. We needed to land at least one waiting Anna for this nonsense, because we can say much. We can talk to here and the viewers, but we can't say much there directly in the court because the court just simply allows. I'm just really disgusted by the nonsense that is being led in court and allowed to be led in court. And for a person who doesn't really understand much or doesn't critically think, you know what I mean? And hence for this show, which allows people to really think about whatever is being put there. I'm telling you, that nonsense somehow will suddenly become truth, and truth through working court of public opinion will become which will convict those two if the judge also is as messed up as that.
Yeah.
So, man, I really just can't wait for the defense to start with the case.
Yes.
And take it from there. Maybe on my parting shot. Sorry, guys, for taking long. On my parting shot.
Yes.
I just simply can't understand. Maybe you guys can help me, please. And I think there was a time where we once discussed what the strategy is for the case for a prosecution for not calling O'Kelly. Do you remember? That chat we once spoke about?
We did. So
when you get a chance after this call, please try to summarize for me what you think is the strategy. But for me, it looks like the main members or the test were not called to come to testify are actually the witnesses, according to me, who know exactly what happened there in the house, and they're deliberately not being called so that they keep hiding the truth from us.
Yes.
I believe Kwele knows very well, Longan knows very well, but she hasn't been called, you know. So it will be interesting to see if they decide to either recall or call those people who were not brought to the court to testify, what they will be saying and revealing. Anyway, guys, thanks for the time. I really hope that we don't waste much time when the first comes. Really finish up with those two witnesses and the defense can start with their case. That we can really see where the truth is. Because so far we've been fed garbage.
You think so?
Anyway, No, it's garbage. It's garbage, allegedly. Anyway, thanks for your time, guys. Yeah, I would really appreciate if you can just rehash, Mr. Arno and Emily, what you think the strategy of the NPA or the prosecution is for not calling Kelly, or if they call her, how they will try to unravel everything out. Thanks for the call, guys. Have a good evening, and may the little one get better, please. May the little one get better.
Thank you. Yes. Forgive me about that noise. This new phone, the settings, it seems as if they are not in order. But I will continue taking your calls. Zanzi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Zanzi Reality, how are you?
Yes, we're good. And you?
I'm good. I'm sorry to hear about your little one feeling not too good. I hope they get better soon.
No, it's nothing major. They are teething.
Yeah, I wish them. Well, my name is AJ Mohammed. I'm calling from the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And yeah, I do follow you guys quite a lot. Quite a few points that I put down, and I want to go a little bit quick so that the other guys can also have a chance to go. The first point is this is the first case that YouTubers and podcasters in the world will solve a murder case.
Yes.
So, and I'm saying Mzansi Reality, Mzansi Unfiltered, Clandis, Bongs, Patricia Mashale, Noni, and all other guys who really giving people the truth about what is happening in that court, are exposing all those things that are otherwise ENCA, SABC, I don't want to name the funny journalist names, are hiding away from us. You guys are exposing it. The things that they don't want the world to know, the world is knowing through you guys. Heads off. Kudos to you guys. Keep on keeping on. You're going to bring justice for Senzo. You're going to make Senzo's old lady happy. You're going to make Mandisa rest, knowing what happened to her husband. What I've always insisted is, my second point is, I've always personally insisted that this case, there's nothing the defense can do. They can bring in rocket scientists, they can bring in Donald Trump, they can bring in whoever. They can't do anything in this circumstance. Their only chance lies when they start the defense case. Yes. But this is simple.
Yes.
It's been picked up as the trigger point, whatever Gininda calls it. Call it subpoena Kelly. Kelly, these 5 guys here, allegedly you hired them to kill Senzo. Do you know them? Did these accused 5 call you on the 26th of October 2014 when Senzo was shot? Do you know, did you pay money to this? Kelly says, I don't know these people. The case is gone. Bring in Zuma's dad. Sorry, Zungu's dad. Old man. You said your son, you told your son that this guy did ABCD. I hear on the behind the curtains, the old man is saying, no, call me to court. I don't know what these guys are dragging me into. That's it. Oh, Makubo will tell you, beginning, you cooked this case. So calling that lady who cleaned the crime scene, she will crack. Then the case is over. That's why Moniz said, I don't care. You want me to call the dentist? We might not need to even get that far because they know they've got weaknesses. And I will tell you, the other guy, what's his name? The Zungu guy, who is apparently accused number 1, accused number 2's brother. He uses another
Kwabini.
Kwabini. Trust me, trust me, Mr. Anonymous, trust me, that guy is coming to testify. I'll put my mortgage on it. That guy is coming to testify, to defend and clear his cousin brother. Then I've also wanted to know, my third point is, there's a guy that used to call a lot from France. He's disappeared. Is he okay? I just wanted to do a welfare check. There's two guys that since I followed the case, there was a lady that used to call from Australia and a guy that used to call from France, and I haven't heard from them. I hope they are okay.
Jonathan's. And then I think Ned, the other one you're talking about. Yeah, Ned just called, I think, recently.
Wow, that's good. Then I also wanted the fourth speak one is I'm glad Ngomezulu's spirit is now running in the veins of those lawyers. Look at the new Ramespile. He's a different man.
Yeah.
He is a recharged human being. Look at Muniz. Muniz is doing exactly what the Ngom used to do exactly. So I pray for Joshua to rest in peace, and I hope these guys keep the fire burning. And then the last point is, I wonder why is it that the prosecution seems to also always shoot down all those things that can actually help them to close the case. There's a challenge that this guy had never had a gold tooth. They say, we don't want to take him to a dentist. If you are sure he had a gold tooth, take him to the dentist. Why would you say no? You would say that this guy is saying the place is hidden. It's like this. Let's do an inspection in local. No, we can do an inspection in local. We want to recall Zungu because there is evidence that doesn't go about A, B, C, D. No, we can't call in Zungu. We want Absalom Zungu to come in because we need information like A, B, C, D. We can't bring in. This is the thing that the prosecution will be like, don't grab this. Let's bring these guys in. Let's close the case. So you can see that they're just buying time. But like I said, when the defense start their case, this case will be carried. Guys, keep your heads up. Keep doing what you're doing. Emily, I saw you yesterday. You had your grey hoodie. Can you please? Thank you, guys. Have a good night. See you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear? Yes. But the volume at the back is disturbing me. I see you've been calling.
Yes, Mzansi Reality. I'm trying to join the conversation here because you are live. I just want to have a comment.
Yes.
With all due respect, Mikey.
Okay. You wanna comment?
Yes, yes. I want to comment about this case.
Yes.
My name is Fish. I'm calling right here. I'm here at 17 at Colvin Suburb.
Oh, nice life problems.
You know, my king. This case, there is no confusion about this case, but Brigadier Gininda, Baloyi are the one who are cooking, and the judge is colluding with them.
Allegedly.
This judge, truly speaking, this judge, no matter the 56 years experience, this judge is biased and is colluding with the state. He is very active when the state is cross-examining. His pen is very active. But when the defense is cross-examining, there is no action. What we see is biasness towards the defense. You understand me?
Yes.
Brigadier Gininda, from 2017 towards 2020, I was living at Baskin Hostel in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
I spent a lot of years there.
Mm-hmm.
I was schooling at Hathoras College.
Mm-hmm.
hostels are not that dangerous. Dangerous for what? When it comes to what? They are avoiding this inspection of local because it will expose them. You understand?
Yes, I understand you.
Here, Gininda, he lie with impunity. Baloyi, I'm asking myself what kind of experience a state prosecutor like Baloyi. Baloyi is unfair, is a liar. Now they are trying by all means to introduce their tricks in this. The people who deserve to be in that court is the people who were inside the house.
Yeah.
All what is Brigadier Gininda is telling or is saying there doesn't help us. Did Mr. Gininda do any investigation? No. Mr. Gininda consulted people who were there. And then tried to take all the information. And is now a mastermind. He's cooking this. He's using his experience to cook these things. I wonder where is Mlambo, Mr. Mlambo, the one who is the president of the judges. What they are saying when they are looking at this.
Yes.
What is NNPA saying? You see, our country, I don't understand whether this country is the country or is the company or is what. I truly don't understand. In this country, when you don't have money, you will suffer like the gentlemen who are there. These guys, they must be arrested for what they did. We are not defending them. All we are saying is there must be fair and truth in this. They must stop cooking. All people who are inside the house must come and tell the truth. Long way, I'm talking about all of the guys who were there. If you may listen to Brigadier Gininda, all what he's saying is something else when you compare it with the likes of this guy who is this Tumelo Mazala.
Yeah.
Zandi and so on. They
this.
told the court something else and he's coming with his thing. He's cooking this thing. So now we are waiting for the defense to call their witness to be examined at court. And then this judge, I don't know what can I do. I don't even know if they do visit your channel to see the way you guys analyze this. This judge must be simply removed in this because at the end of the day, I see he will simply use his 56 experience to decide and arrest the wrong people. No, with all greatest respect, I thank you guys for the opportunity. I am watching. Let me keep on watching and give other people opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my king.
Thank you. Just a reminder, the views are of the caller. The channel has nothing to do with those views. We are not in line maybe with those views. We are not, in fact, not maybe, we are not in line with those views. Or no, don't align us with those views. Those are views of a customer and they are alleged. They are alleged. Everything said in this channel is alleged because we don't have facts. We have no facts. So please call. And yes, guys, I'm waiting for your calls. I see if you call, you couldn't go through and I dropped you because it was making noise. I was just dealing with the settings. I'm sorry, man. This is a new toy for me. I just got used to it now. So yeah, I'm just changing things there and there as we go. Good morning, family. I'm trying to make sense of the accused number 4 going inside the house, and I can only think of he only went to the house to touch the head because he wanted his 2% of regions to be counted. This is madness. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Njani Mzansi?
Siyaphila senjani nina?
Siyaphila futhi. Hello.
Yebo. Akasiza ukuthi usiphatheleni.
Ngiyaphila. Cha, ngincome nje namhlanje i-cross examination kaNcumalo.
Yebo.
Hayi uNcumalo ushayile. And uthe mayishaya lapha embuza ukuthi sikhona ne-statement esishoyo sokuthi abantu ababephakathi ukuthi accused number 4 bambone ngene khona lapho khona umuntu owangena phakathi endlini wesithathu oyi-intrude.
Yebo.
Manje kuGININDA-ke waxineka manje sengibuka uNcumalo ubuka ijaji akabuka uGININDA mayiphendula ubuka nje straight ijaji ukuthi lenzekani amehla lokho ebuka ijaji umlaleleni uGININDA ngapho uyazama ukuthatha but amehla abuka ijaji abuka ukuthi futhi ubuka ukuthi ingabe liyabhala ngalokho ephendula ngabe lenzekani bayichazele ukuthi wabona ukuthi bambekile nje ukuthi hayi ayikho lento yakhe. Okunye Mr. Ano engifuna nje u-eda kulokho ukuthi allegedly lento kaGININDA, it seems like nakhona kanongoma noma khona la kanongoma ngathi akazeze kanongoma uma ungathi uyayibuka ngoba ukhuluma ngey'ndawo ey'hlukene kakhulu. UNongoma noLundi.
Yebo.
Mahlabathini soLundi, idolobha lasemahlabathini uLundi.
Yeah.
Bese ukuthi uNongoma ukusuka uNongoma uyoLundi, it's about 53 kilometers in ukuphelana nje kwawo uNongoma noLundi.
Yes.
So indawo ngampela ezahlukene nje akuhlangani uhlabisa ulokho umahlabathini noNongoma baqhelelene. So lento leyo uyabuka ukuthi nanokuthi allegedly sekuvela ukuthi kahle noZungu baba Absalom Zungu kuyavela ukuthi akaze wambona once but akaze senze statement lesecure esifakazwa ngaso enkantolo ukuthi waye i-statement ka-Absalom Zungu sikhona uthi ngokwakhe allegedly akasazi leso statement.
Yes.
Manje uyabuka ukuthi ushuthi bonke nontanzi babeforced kulezi zinto ze-statement baqinisile ukuthi babeforced ngoba nje uyabuka uma ubuka ukuthi Absalom Zungu uphika ukuthi akasazi lesi statement okhulunywa ngaso enkantolo akaze senze yena. Uyabuka ke lento ukuthi ezinye izinto akaze ifike kulabantu kuthiwa bayafika yikho kumgomezulu wayithi they busy cooking. Ngampela futhi uma uthi uyabheka yonke into lapha inokungaqondakali ukuthi ayenzeka kanjani. Yeah. Hayi angibeke nami ngidedela abanye ba.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, guys, press the like button. I'm solo now. If you don't see Emily, please do not worry. Everything is fine. I'm just solo now, for now, until the show finishes, I guess. So let's call, guys. It's Friday. Zanzi, hello. I can hear myself. Please reduce the volume at the back, then let's just shoot.
Hello.
Yes, hello, how are you?
Mzansi Reality, how are you?
Yes, we are good, and you?
Hi, see Emily. I'm a morning gang. I need to add one or two.
Please do.
Can I ask Miss Ano, do you think Gininda and Baloi, are they sleeping there where they are? Are they sleeping?
Probably they are. It's a recess now. I don't know if you're asking generally, do they sleep or not?
No, like how the case is going. Like, like every day they're putting new versions of things. Like they forget what they said yesterday and then tomorrow is something else.
If I was, if I was, I'm going to use it myself. If I was the one who was the prosecutor there, I would be worried. I would have sleepless night. I'm not sure about them if they are sleeping, but if it was me, because it seems as if this is gross incompetence, if you ask me, that we see in that court. So I would be worried. I would not have proper sleeps.
Because this case is very sad. It's like every time you see this case, it's like it's draining you each and every day. And I'm so worried about our judge. He's always saying yes to Gininda. Yes, every time. So I wish this case, they have to stop it now and then we see how it goes. I'm just so worried about this. I'm just tired. Like I'm tired.
Yes.
Okay, that's one my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Yebo. Emashabatini, there is a small town, but Semashona Ngashon. It's a small Nyana town. We had a lot of towns. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mr.
Yes, how are you?
Okay.
Yes.
How are you, Mr. Arnold?
I'm good, and you?
I'm fine. Speaking to Gabi in Swaziland.
Yes, can you reduce the volume at the back? It echoes.
Yes, I've reduced it. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes, you're speaking to Gabi from Swaziland.
Welcome, Gabi, from Swaziland. Shout out to you and Swaziland people.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Arnold, thank you guys for this program.
Yes.
It's really helping us in so many ways.
Yes.
And even though it is very sad what we see happening in South Africa, it is very sad. You just wonder where will this case get to in the end?
Yes.
Because the way it's going, you ask yourself, what are the leaders of the country saying about this? But anyways, I had thought when Ngomezulu died, I'm no more going to be watching.
Yes.
But I still have this thing that I want justice for Senzo Meyiwa.
Yes.
And we are going to get justice. Because I don't see any way of writing a judgment without taking into account all the heads of argument. And in the end, there's going to be heads of argument.
Yes.
Where the defense will start their case now. They're going to bring their people. As people have been suggesting here, that they must go and fetch Makumalo Senior, they must bring Mapiri, they must bring back Constable Zungu and Zungu's father. Zungu's father must come. Zungu's father must come because we can hear from Bonjet, Nabu Patricia, Zungu's father wants to stay in court. Here's
a question for you. Here's the question for you. Do you think bringing Constable Zungu or bringing Zungu's father without bringing Zungu first would actually make this case even more interesting? Because, and hear me well, I don't think that if we submit now and say we want Zungu, the judge will abide to that. I think the judge will reject that. But if we bring Zungu Senior to contradict Zungu Junior, and then from there we take it from there, we have a solid submission to say we need Zungu back.
They must bring Zungu's father
First.
He will run crazy. That's why I'm saying Kelly's mom must come. She's going to crack. Zungu's father will go crazy, and they'll be forced by all means to bring his son to come and speak against his father.
Yes.
So they must start with the father. The father must come.
Must come.
Seems to be around Zungu's father.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sad, I know, but just guys, the work you're doing, and we pray. We're also praying because in the end of it all, lies are allegedly. Lies are spiritual. So we also bring the spiritual forces also, that as they lie and say all these things and connive, may God prevail in the end of it all.
Thank
for
you.
the sake of the Meyiwa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ano.
Thank you. All the way from Swazini, we're moving all the way to Zimbabwe. Makanjera, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you, sir?
Hi, good morning, Ano.
Hey, I'm good.
Makanjera.
Yes.
Yes, I sorry, I was busy calling that old number.
Yes.
I missed the part when you mentioned that it's no longer in use.
Yes. No, not a problem.
Yeah. But anyway, I think much of things that I wanted to contribute towards has been mentioned already by the other callers. So I just wanted to emphasize that you can see that there is no leadership. Actually, there is no authority in this courtroom. Because the judge is always in sync with Baloyi. You know, when the defense push back, it's hard on them. But when Baloyi is in Gininda, when they're leading something, she's like,
yes.
Like accepting everything that every poison and every silly things that they're throwing in the court. So I no longer have much to say because I think most of the meaningful things have already been alluded to by the other callers. But shout out to you guys for the brilliant job that you're doing. I know it's not easy breaking it down for us to understand about all the proceedings. I just want to thank you. Yeah?
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you.
Today it's very cold. We are not doing Friday.
I'm wearing my t-shirt.
And another thing, it was your little one get over very soon. It's cheating, but it's normal.
Yeah, with God's grace, it's gonna be fine. It's teething, nothing special.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, cheers, man.
Cheers. Right. We are waiting for your call. So I was finishing this reading that says that 2%, in my understanding, because of his gender, which he is a male, and secondly, he is an African. I could be wrong, but that was my understanding about the DNA readings. The DNA analyst must be called. No, there's no need. The guy said everything. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, sir, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Speaking to Louis, eh?
Yes. Lungis.
Tell me, man, it looks like Mr. Baloyi is not happy if Longo is going to be called to be into the box. Does the defense have any other option to force the state to call other witnesses as defense witnesses, or Baloyi's word is going to be final?
No. Look, you conduct your case the way you want to conduct it. So no one is compelled to call people. What can happen, though, is that after listing those witnesses under his witnesses as the state witnesses, once it's done, he closes with the two that is left with. He let them free. Even those that he didn't use, you as a defense can use it. But there's always a catch, because some of them, in my opinion, could be prepared in advance for you to come and fall on that trap. So you must choose them too. You must not get excited that, oh, he's available, I want to take him. In my opinion, you need to choose them wise.
Okay, no problem. Thanks so much for
your
explanation.
Thank you. Right. Yes. Guys, keep them calls coming. I am here. I am here for them. See, someone, I've got a lot to say about Foslora's case. I really deeply know the place. There is absolutely nothing dangerous about that place. Guy, here the caller is really offended by what Baloyi said, saying that they would need to move the whole mountain to actually go there, block everything. It's like what that felt like. It's like they need to go and stop the whole hostel from working. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Anonymous.
Yes.
I just want to comment on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, Mr. Anonymous, right now, what Baloyi and Gininda are doing, I would call it a damage control.
Mm.
A damage control from where?
Mm-hmm.
A damage control from the day the incident happened.
Yes.
Let me take you back. The first two witnesses that were called back in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant Musia, the other guy's name, what is his name? I forgot his name. But the sergeant is the first witness to be called by the state.
I think it was Nyambos, if I'm not mistaken, and the rest of other people. Yes.
Now, today it's Friday, the 27th of June 2025.
Yes.
Till today, we still don't know between Musia and Nyambos who the first person to arrive at that crime scene. Because if you remember, Musia said, I'm the first one to arrive at the crime scene, and Nyambos said, I'm the first one to arrive at the crime scene. But the question was, did you at some point saw each other at the crime scene? The answer was no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It even went further to at what time did you leave the crime scene? At what time, Nyambos, did you leave the crime scene? But still, they did not saw each other at the crime scene. Number two, the crime scene was never condoned. They both went to hospital without condoning the crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So now, right now, these people they're just doing the damage control. They're just doing the damage control.
Oh.
There's nothing that positive that will come outside this case. You understand?
Yes.
And looking at the judge, the way he's been conducting this trial.
Yes.
There's so much tension there in that courtroom. And I think it's a day before yesterday when Mr. Ramsipi stood up and addressed the court regarding the professionalism between the counsel. Yes, there's so much tension in that court.
Yes.
There's so much tension. I don't know how what will be the final judgment or the verdict of this case. I really don't know what it is going to be, but as far as I've personally been following the case from the first witness until now, until this witness.
Yes.
I don't know, but from my observations, the judge has already decided. the judge have already decided, because now the way the state dictates the court. Because if you remember this case, the State versus Hartworth, the 1928 case.
Yes.
The suspect there was also charged with murder. But this is what the state wanted. The state wanted the court not to participate in the trial. They wanted the court to fold their arms and just issue yellow card and red card. That's it. And that is what Baloyi is doing right now. And the court gives him that courtesy.
So you are saying, in your view, what you are seeing there is actually exactly what Rob versus Hepworth was all about, which I haven't read much. I just read few, that part where they were talking about what needs to happen in court. I did not go to the gist of the case. It would be very interesting to read it all.
Yes, because by looking at it, the way it's happening right now, it is exactly like that. Because it questions the administration of justice. If the way it's happening, it questions the administration of the justice. Right now, all the South Africans, we don't see the justice being done.
Yeah,
we don't see it. We do not see it at this moment. And there are similarities between these two cases.
There are.
But we dictate this court. Every chance that he gets, he dictates the court, and the court gives him that courtesy. State versus Hartworth. Go and read that. In the 1928, the suspect there was also charged with murder. They don't want the court to participate in this trial. They are trying by all means. As I'm saying, the reason they do this is because of the damage control. It is because of the damage control. All right. Let me conclude this. If you remember, Musia said about the projectile and that guy who came after Musia about the projectile. The other one said, if I'm not mistaken, if I still remember very well, the other one said it was on the countertop. The other one said he found it on the floor. And the cans of alcohol, the other one saw them. The other one, I did not see them. But both of them claimed that I'm the first one to arrive at the crime scene. I'm the first one to arrive. Allegedly. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you for opening. Shall I go through the case? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because someone sending a message, say, hi guys, it's been a while. Great show today. Please have a look at what happened in the Martin trial. In the Martin trial, the US, I was very troubled by the minister saying they were now going to probe the case in two crutches. The process has to be the top notch, or the distraction could be a bigger case of Wag and the dog than Senzo. Regards. Wow. Yes. Now you get us anywhere, even through SMSs. If we have free SMSs, we will go through your messages. Thank you, because this number is mainly used now for everything when it comes to this channel. We appreciate the message very clear and concisely. Let's hear what you guys are saying on the other side. Please WhatsApp us, send us a message, or even call better, because we can engage if you can. While you do that, please press the like button, and as I wait for you guys, because niyakoza manje ngizobe nje ngihamba through the list of people that were here. Ndanganeni, thank you very much. We appreciate all of you guys. Dipuo Sizwe 18, our member. Lola, thank you very much. Is Isaiah, our member, also thank you, and God bless you, Isaiah. I hope everything is going well. Boy Tumelo, MC Master, thank you. Martha Kashani, thank you. Chuku Anna, thank you. And very interesting when I said, do not, in my opinion, I don't think people should go back and call the DNA witness. It is pointless, because what you'll be doing, you'll be giving people a chance to change the narrative. That's my point. You see, with these things, you get what you want, leave it like that. Leave it to bug them, because at the end of the day, the decision has to be taken on the facts. If you decide to take the decision on the basis of region, you are a questionable judge. You are everything that is wrong about the law. So do not give them another second chance to bite the cake when you are actually winning. That's why I'm saying, I don't think DNA person should come back. DNA person did not do anything wrong. And let me remind you guys, because I see someone is calling me here. The number that is used is 071 153 7006. That's the number that is used for both WhatsApp and direct calls. Please remember that. The other number is no longer in use for anything else. Please use 071 number for everything. WhatsApp calls and any direct calls that you might want to have. So bringing someone who was clear in their message, it is pointless to me. It's actually putting you at a disadvantage, because what you are doing now, you want to bring that person to rehash the very same thing that they said. Why do you need to bring them back? For who? Who are you helping? Who is going to hear? I mean, the report is there. Everything is there. If people are failing to be convinced by what is written down, how can they be convinced by you bringing a person back again? For what? That person did his job. Let him rest. This case is tiring. You don't sleep. I think if you are going to come and testify here, you don't sleep. Let the people who came here, and it's like bringing Mjali back. For what? Mjali was clear. Bringing Buthelezi back. If Buthelezi was clear, Ntanzi looked dirty. Ntanzi looked like he was, bringing them back for what? Because now you are going to give the states a chance to now go through this thing and use other tricks to trick the person to say what they want them to say. Remember, that's how things are happening in that court. So don't. If you get a win in that small part, don't. Let them twist the narrative. But don't use the person's mouth that has come to tell the truth. Don't use that mouth, because they will use it to say what is now against you. So that's my opinion. That's why I'm saying people who came and did their job very well, they leave them alone. Focus on where there are loopholes. Focus there. That's why now, but they don't want Bozungu to come back. They are not just going to give you Bozungu easily, because they know what might happen if they give you Bozungu. Whether if you voluntarily for free, give them the most credible witness that you can ever have, that came and said things that are in your favor, and you say, okay, let's go again. Let's have a second bite. You are going to have a problem, in my opinion. You can beat me the first time. The second time, it's another story. The number we are using is 071, not this number. This number is no longer in use. It's not on speaker. No one can hear you. 071 153 7006. I've now actually managed to memorize this number. Please call that number and then we can talk. That's my opinion. I don't know what you guys are thinking. You know, I hear most of you are saying, hey, bring this person back. He's going to say exactly what is written down. They have it in front of them. They are picking and choosing what they can use in the report that was done by an expert, a scientist of note. What else can you do? They're never going to change their mind. They are never going to change their mind. Please. It's difficult, guys. I see other people are still calling this number. That's why we don't have call. I'm just going to have courtesy and be patient because it's something new. That's a number that you can use. 071. You can use for calls. You can use for WhatsApp. Both is applicable. But tell me what you guys think. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I think, in my opinion, don't give ungaisukeli semgodini. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anonymous. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. You're speaking to Bongan Dube.
Yo, Dube Limten.
Yebo bhuti. Uzongixolela kwezinye indawo isingisi siyangishaya.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I want to know if you can clarify this to me. According to the bullet for the revolver and that one for the 9mm? Is it look the same?
It doesn't look the same. It doesn't.
So, like, which bullet Mangena was dealing with?
It's a 9mm bullet.
It's really confusing. Where does that bullet came from? Because the eyewitnesses, they are talking about the revolver, the gun with the wheel.
I don't know, but yeah. I mean, it took them almost 2 days to find this bullet. So, yeah, yeah, and it had to be found by someone else. Bomsia, they were there, they failed. Some woman, I forgot her name. She came to find this bullet, and yeah, she came to testify. Very, very arrogant, if you ask me. A person who couldn't, I mean, it was difficult to deal with her. But yeah, she came to testify.
Okay, and then another point, I'm very, very worried about Rams last, is it 2 weeks back, if I'm not mistaken, about the pictures, when he admitted those pictures, because if I'm not mistaken, the dates are saying November.
Yes. They are saying what? So repeat what November?
I think the year is 2020, but the month is November. Some of those pictures, even though Ramsey said other pictures, we don't have problems about them. But then, I've been team defense since I left wondering on that.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not quite.
In all honesty, there is nothing wrong. If the states decide to bring pictures that were taken yesterday, it's fine. But the question is, does it affect the case? In reality, it does not. It shouldn't be affecting a case. The pictures that I took yesterday concerning something that happened 2014, it's just a waste of time and additional time. I mean, anything is possible in that court. If you ask me, the state is not waiting, is not happy that now the defense is going to start their trial. Their defense.
Yeah, it's a really problem. But I like the way how Miss finished Baloy yesterday. I was so laughing.
Yes.
I was so happy. But then other side, I wasn't happy. I feel like I can kick my TV when normally didn't insist on saying Makumalo. Makumalo, did she run away as others ran away? Because Makumalo, she remained there.
You see, sometimes I forgive the defense or any lawyer, because you see, you have to think as you are giving those questions. It's not like those questions were predictable. That this person is going to answer this. So it becomes difficult to actually be able to catch everything, because we are sitting here, we have time to reverse and do everything. Yes, it's possible. That's why then it is possible for a lawyer to have a stamina in terms of cross-examining. To push it overnight.
I end up recalling your advice that you said this case needs someone who studied history.
Yes.
By that time, when Ngumalo was not punching that version, or is it version? I don't know. I'm not good in law.
No, that's the version. Yes.
yes. Another thing about accused number 4.
Mm-hmm.
The time when he was outside, if he was outside, the time when he was outside, and then these 2 guys were inside. I think Longwe, he might have seen him when he was standing outside before Longwe ran out of the yard. Not about the house, but out of the yard.
Mm-hmm.
And then secondly, I think Mtogo, he went the matches through the gate, but when he was coming back to Makumalo's yard, he jumped the wall.
Mm.
Yes, so by the time when this guy, Togo, jumping the wall, I think he was supposed to see accused number 4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then what we can do, this is a Rata case, is very, very confusing.
Very confusing.
Yeah, just waiting. Yes, my brother. No, that was just my point, my brother. Thank you very much. It's my first time to call in Mzansi Reality, but I've been liking since 2 years back.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Oh, I'm one of those who was trying the old number. I'm just hearing you now when you're announcing the new number. I'm like, oh, what's going on? It's not picking.
Yeah. We have a new number for WhatsApp, old for phone calls,
right.
But new for WhatsApp. Yes.
Okay. It's just that like I wasn't listening to the whole program from the time it started. I was just busy doing some other things. I was just catching up here and there.
Not an issue.
Anyway,
yes.
Okay. I just want to address just a few points that I have. So I will start with the DNA. The brigadier was explaining and putting his own views and talking about the 2%, how these markers and regions, how they corroborate, how they do whatever. You see, if judge was impartial and was just there to do his job, not for a second mandate, allegedly, he was supposed to shut him down right away. Like, you know what, you are an investigating officer. I just want you to answer questions as an investigator, not to take what an expert said and then like you are running with it. You don't have to do that, because I've realized that he has a tendency of analyzing what the judge says, especially during those clarity questions. You see, someone is tempted to say, after the proceedings, they meet and they are cooking. Because tell me something. Every clarity questions that the judge has posed, this man, he is coming back with them, and then he is just creating his story.
Yes.
Using the clarity questions from the judge, and the judge just let him like proceed as if like nothing is happening. I just don't understand what's going on. He was supposed to shut him down like quickly. Like, you know what? You're not an expert in this field. Leave this thing to people who are qualified to do that. If they want anything like to be explained further, they would recall that man, but not for him to lay it as if like he knows exactly what this thing is all about. You see, I'm finished with that one. Yes. The second one is about grills. As for the grills, I don't think in 2014 grills were a real thing that time. Grills, like they are a real thing like nowadays, especially in Africa. that's when like we are starting to see like the emergence of these grills. And if this man had grills, I'm sure like they were going to be expensive. It wasn't going to be like centered on one tooth. It was just going to be like grills, like probably 3 or 4 teeth, not one. Because from what I know, people who had gold teeth by then, like it will be like inserted, right? They kind of like remove a certain part of your tooth to make way for that gold insert. It's not like something that you put in and take out, you know, at the end of the day. The way the brigadier wants it to sound like, it's not like that. There wasn't Temu by then. There wasn't Temu because, like, you can't tell me, like, oh, cosmetic purposes, like people, they just put fake to. No. There was no Shin, there was no Temu Roses to do such kind of things. If you look around, people who have gold teeth, like those inserts, they are permanent. It's not something that like, oh, I'm just going to commit a robbery and then I'm going to insert my gold tooth. When I come back, I'm going to take it out. No, absolutely no way. Again, now he is taking an example from Mr. Ramosepile, what he asked, like grills, right? And then again, from that clarity question, now he's coming up with his own narrative and he's coming up with his own story, kind of like to build it up as if like, no, that's not it. Third point, inspection in loco. You see, with Judge Ndim, from the other case, the inspection in loco, it never took him any longer just to decide. He just said right away, I want an inspection in loco. You see, an inspection in loco, it mustn't be a topic of debate in court because what we want is justice. So if we want justice, let's just explore all the avenues that make us to arrive at the justice that we're looking for. So if someone raises the point of inspection in loco because they want to prove that these people, they are not the ones that are there, we want justice. As they always say in court. Yes. There wasn't going to be any need for this silence and this indecision. The judge was supposed to stamp his authority like, okay, fine. The inspection in loco is going ahead. And then let's just decide on the date and how we are going to do all the logistics for us to be there because we're looking for justice. Since they are always singing the song about time wasting and all sorts of things, like, I just don't get it. Inspection in loco has to be done. Inspection in loco mustn't be like, oh, you know, I just don't get it. All that evidence of the aerial pictures and whatever, no, I just want to agree with the previous caller who said, like, the judge is allowing Baloyi to do whatever he likes in that court and, like, he's just doing it with impunity, which is just wrong in my honest opinion. Yes. Right? Yes. And then when we come back to Ulongwe, I've never seen someone defend somebody with his whole life the way Ubalo defended Ulongwe from being court to court. And then, you see, it took my mind back to what Advocate Ngomezulu said in court, that Ulongwe man, he was shot during the process. Why is Baloyi afraid to bring Ulongwe to court? Why is he afraid to bring Ulongwe to court? And you see, I'm just perplexed, to be honest. I just don't understand. If Ulongwe wasn't shot on the foot, why can't he come to court? And why did GININDA go to prisons looking for marks or looking for whatever he was looking for on people's ankles and feet and toes? It's just drama, and the drama never seems to end. I just don't know. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say. I guess it's food for thought for everybody. Thank you, Mr. Anonymous.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Zanzi reality. You know, I actually think that Baloyi brought in those aerial photos so that the defense could have questions and then they would know what to do. It was innocent or trying to.
Mzansi, hello.
Have questions, and then they would know what to do.
Mzansi, hello.
Mr. Anonymous.
Yes, sir.
Njani ba?
Siyaphila mfethu njani wena?
Ngikho.
Yes.
Ngicela ungazisho nje igama lami mfowethu.
Zifihle mfowethu. Yeah.
Icala nami ngiyalilandela. So mangililandela icala. Hey, maningi ama-flop laphana. Umuntu awabonayo. Yabona njengayizolo. Ngithe mangilalela. Mangilalela indaba ye-inspection and law.
Yes.
Hayi Mr. Baloyi shame hayi cha. Bezama yonke indlela ukuthi
abaleke nayo.
Hayi bezama yonke indlela ukuthi abaleke. Kuyabonakala khona into abayifihlayo. Thina siyaziyo nje iFosloras.
Yeah.
Siyibona ngamehlo engqondo le ndawo eshiwo lempoka sibiya.
Yebo.
Siyibona ngamehlo engqondo kodwa ke istate ngoba vele siphezulu kwalobugebengu esiphezu kwabo. Hayi sazi ukuthi yozala nkomo.
Ayasasi mfowethu.
Asazi. Hey, ngivuka nje ebuthongo ngiyazi ngilale kade ngilalele mina la. Ngina ngizumeka.
Indaba emnandi ke leyo. Should we've got radio voice.
Yeah.
Siyabonga.
Hayi no ngiyabonga bhuti omkhulu.
Siyabonga mfowethu. Sibonga kakhulu. Yeah. Hey, uyabona, I like that voice note. Thank you for calling. Let me start it afresh.
I think that Baloyi brought in those aerial photos so that the defense could have questions, and then they would know what to do when they go for the inspection in local. I don't think it was the inspection in local. I think there was a plan. Whatever they would ask, then the state would know what the defense has interest in, and I think that is why the defense, all of them, nobody asked anything about the aerial photos.
Thank you. Hey, no more finish gabi. Sungasezwakala. Mzansi, hello.
Masibonge bhuti Anonymous, masibonge.
Siyabonga mfowethu.
Hey, uAjuice number 4 wabachitha bonke wangena eminyanga bambona
bonke akekho mbonile.
Akekho mbonile kodwa ungena eminyanga bebaleke bephuma.
Yebo.
Hey. Umnyango kodwa imbumbulo kaSenzo yaphuma ngemnyango from ngaphakathi. uSenzo nemnyango waphuma unumber 4 wakwazi ungena yena.
Yeah, wangena phakathi. Kunzima mfowethu.
Masibonge thu.
Sibonge kakhulu mfowethu.
Uphosa nje.
Sibonge mfowethu uphosa sivivaneni.
Sibonge.
Thank you. It's still a mystery to everyone how you run towards the commotion, others are running away, you are being passed by everyone. And I like the voice note saying maybe this is just a teaser, and then show us your hand, then we'll show you the rest, then we'll prepare for the rest, which was going to be very interesting because considering that now they are going to a break and then they have more time to actually take a direction and an angle. So good pick up from the defense, as the caller was saying, for not entertaining it at all or ignoring it 100%, not even entertaining any questions. And it was only one man who was supposed to have a question with regards to that. And that was Mnisi, I think. So Mnisi just said, I will ignore this. In fact, he even said, my client says he cannot even see this thing. To make it even worse. And then that is it. Before ngiphume, because now I have to go ngiyodlala nezinye ingane ngiyadlala. I've got a sick kid. I don't play with kids. Mina ngidlala nengane encane. Someone is saying there's absolutely nothing dangerous about the place. I second your point. Defense must not recall the witness who already testified. They must simply call their witnesses who got nothing to do with the state. My uncle is a member of the hostel leadership and he got a position. I am going to tell him about... I didn't give asivale lena singayisakazi. But thank you all, guys. Mhlangabezi Sly, thank you. Ulol, I've mentioned you, and yeah, hey, bafowethu thina abanye sazalelwe ema-hostel abasho njalo abantu, but no, do not speak bad things about them. Uthi ulola ukhola insomnia. Thank you very much, all of you guys. Please press the like button. I think this is my time. This is my cue to go. It has been a very interesting time with you guys. I think you called and getting used to a new number and a cell phone. Forgive the glitches. We can never be perfect, but we try to be perfect. Thank you. The number to call all the time now is 071 153 7006. I think if my memory serves me well. And that's the number you call for WhatsApp. That's the number you call for anything else. Silala's Corner. Thank you.